Tell us the truth about Paul Ryan. You think this election sucks, don't you?
No, I think it's a good election, Joe, and you alluded to it earlier. One of the good reasons that you pick somebody is because they can change the policy debate and add something from a governing standpoint. You got a governor and a member of Congress, but here's the bonus. You put Wisconsin in play, and that's a state that perhaps otherwise would not have been in play but for Paul Ryan, and he helps in the upper Midwest. So there's a lot of great reasons for Paul Ryan to be picked, including the fact that he's ready to be president.
How tough is it to go through this vice presidential process? You've done it twice. I had a lot of people, a lot of reporters telling me in 2008 it was yours. You went through it again in 2012. We hear the process is backbreaking, that it's worse than it's ever been before. Can you take our viewers into the inside of it, how tough it is?
You know, for me, it wasn't that tough because I had been through it before and had kept a lot of the same stuff that you had to submit from last time, so it just involved a little updating from 2008. And then once you submit the stuff and go through a few interviews, it's not that hard of a process, really. And, you know, at some point I became aware that, you know, this was headed in a different direction. It's like that old country western song, Joe, if the phone don't ring, you know it's me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, though, it made 4 years ago, it made a lot more sense to have senator, governor, a guy with a record. I guess this year going into it, you must have thought, wow, it's going to be a little more difficult stacking a ticket with two governors. Like you just said, it makes sense to have a guy that's governed and a guy that's been a legislature with a pretty strong conservative record.
Well, and look, I didn't really expect to be considered, much less be a finalist this time, so I can honestly say I wasn't disappointed to not get something I didn't expect. So it was an honor to be considered, but I can genuinely tell you it's not something I expected, so I didn't have disappointment. And I told Mitt, you know, originally, look, I don't know, really I should even go through the process, but it was an honor to be considered, and it was an honor to be a finalist.
And by the way, we got some bad information earlier this week that actually it was one of Mitt Romney's sons that called you to tell you that you weren't there. I understand actually Mitt himself called you to tell you you wouldn't be. Both you and also the senator from Ohio, Rob Portman, then you both got personal phone calls from the candidate himself.
Yeah, somebody misreported that. Mitt actually called me the Monday preceding the picks, almost a week before the pick, and indicated, you know, which direction he was headed. And I sure appreciated that heads up, but it got misreported that one of Mitt's sons specifically tagged, you know, talked to me and Rob on the eve of the pick. That just wasn't accurate.